The reason why I like to bring this up is to give you an idea when you do examine these patients, what their mortality is going to be right off the bat. And therefore, I like to go over the SCAI SHOCK criteria for cardiogenic shock because it's simple letters, A through E. And we start off with the patients with shock stage A, which are the patients who are not quite in shock yet. They either come in with an acute myocardial infarction or they come in with decompensated heart failure, but they're normotensive, they have a normal lactate, they're not in shock just yet. But the thing is, even in these patients, their mortality could be up to 3.6%. So they're not quite healthy, but they're not quite too sick yet. The patients who are beginning to go into cardiogenic shock, again, we're looking at patients who are still normotensive, they still have a normal lactate, they still don't look unwell per se. When you actually fixate on their vital signs a little bit, you see that they do have about a 30-point drop on their systolic blood pressure, and they also become more tachycardic. These are the patients who are beginning to go into cardiogenic shock. And the problem with these folks is that if you don't identify that they're beginning to go into cardiogenic shock, they continue to deteriorate, and their mortality is up to 34%. So 1/3 of patients could pass away as they begin to go into cardiogenic shock. The textbook cases of cardiogenic shock are those with classic cardiogenic shock. These are the patients who are cold, clammy, diaphoretic, they got rails, they're on BiPAP or non-invasive ventilation. You start them on vasopressors, they might need mechanical circulatory support. These carry a mortality of up to 54%. You try to do whatever you could do to try to save these patients, but despite your best efforts, they continue to deteriorate. The stage D, these have a 67% mortality, and it only gets worse with the patients who go into extremis. These are the patients who either suffer a cardiac arrest or they almost suffer a cardiac arrest. And per the data, per the author of the study, they are trying to die. I really had to circle that because when I read this for the first time, I'm like, I wonder who this author is. And I actually had drinks with him a couple years after that. But anyway, good stuff. So trying to die. Short-term mortality in these patients is up to 77%. So they don't do